Hey everybody, Shea here with Method Vans. Hey, I'm excited to show you a new product today. We just installed this on this 2024 Mercedes Sprinter. It's a brand new product from Cascadia 4x4, and it is their new hood solar installation, which is, they call it the VSS System 2.0. So it's a second generation hood solar package from Cascadia 4x4. It is made in Canada, which is fantastic, using global parts. And I just want to give you a little bit of an idea what it looks like, how it functions, what its purpose is, and what the installation was like, because these are brand new on the market, the System 2.0, and this is our very first install, so it's an exciting piece to kind of show you. First off, what is the purpose of a hood solar package like this? Well, a lot of times van owners are out either at trailheads for some time, or have it parked outside of their house for some time, or it's in a storage facility for some time. And the new generation Sprinters definitely have parasitic draws on the chassis battery. So what will happen over a bit of time is your chassis battery will diminish. And when you go to try to start it, diesel engines do not like a low voltage, and they just won't even turn over. So you'll be stuck unless you have a battery booster of some sort, or if you are plugged in using some sort of a battery maintainer. Now, we do install a battery maintainer into our vehicles in our ultra premium builds, but that only works if you have shore power available to plug that into. So the idea here is that these solar panels can then recharge the low voltage battery system for the chassis, for the vehicle battery. And solar is great for that. It can happen slowly over the course of a day. Solar is not a fast charging method, but it is a little bit of an upkeep method. So it's a spectacular use of solar in this case. And you really have this open part of the hood, which is really not used for anything functional. And now Cascadia has brought that forward and made it into something functional. So what do we have here? We have two monocrystalline solar cells for a total of 86 watts, which is really decent. We put on 180 watts on the roof, which charges our battery bank, our lithium-ion battery bank inside the coach. However, this is specifically just for the chassis. It uses typical MC4 solar connectors. It comes with a Bluetooth, or you add it, but you really need the MPPT Bluetooth controller, and Cascadia has what's called their Tether app, which gives you all the configuration and the programming to set up your battery system. They use what's called a solar clasp technology, which is really the fixing part of the panels to the hood. And it's not just fixing, it's fixing so that it could be removed, and then you can also get a bit of an air pocket between the actual panel and the hood. This hood gets incredibly hot while you're driving, and what's happened on other systems is that the panels end up cooking and diminishing in capacity or failing altogether because they get too hot. So what Cascadia has done is they've created a bit of a foam gasket which separates the panel from the hood. And in doing that, we now get a bit of an airspace in there, which helps to cool, and we don't get that buildup of heat. And then comes their magic of how they attach the panels to the hood. First of all, you get a vinyl application piece that you squeegee down. It's a wet applied, just like any other kind of film product. You get it in place. Then there's an adhesive promoter that you put in all the little circles around the panel. And then you install the 3M Dual Lock product. Now, many of you probably come across the Dual Lock product by 3M. It's Velcro on steroids. It's incredibly strong. You can hear it snap when it locks into place. I'll do that now and just let you listen. So I don't know if you heard that or not, but you can hear it click into place, and that's the system that you're using while you're pushing this down. So there are, like, I don't know, I didn't count, but there's probably 30 or 40 of these pads around the entire surface. And so you're going around and you're knocking them into place, and you're hearing all that clicking for that positive attachment of the panel to the hood. They give you all the instructions. I found the instructions fantastic. It's a full booklet. It's not some little piece of paper that only gives you a couple pictures. It is incredibly well done. So right from the get-go, the packaging was beautiful and robust, and there was no movement in the packaging. Everything was properly wrapped. The product itself is incredibly robust, and I love that it's got a bit of a matte finish. So we're not adding like glossy solar panels to the roof or to the hood of the van. We use a matte finish on our van, so this kind of goes quite nice. The weather stripping, the dual lock, the cabling, everything was top notch, incredibly impressive. They did not skimp on any part of this. So as I mentioned, it's 86 watts, which is going to be enough to keep that battery well maintained while it's sitting and not being in use. The MPPT controller, which I'll show you when we go in the hood, also has an auxiliary circuit, so you could actually charge other circuits if you wanted from the MPPT controller. There are some specifications on how much you can draw and all that kind of stuff. There, it is fused. We have a separate distribution center inside of our van, and I'll show you that when we go inside the van or inside the hood to give you a bit of an idea. And that's what operates all of our exterior lighting is through that auxiliary system. So these are the two solar panels. Installation was pretty easy, but you want to be meticulous. You want to be careful. You want to take your time. And I mean, honestly, I think you need a controlled environment to do a good job, which is a shop like this. Yeah. And I would say probably if you're feeling comfortable, it's probably a 3, maybe 4 hour installation. And that's really doing it properly, taking your time, the wiring, being meticulous, all that kind of stuff. So that's me kind of doing it the first time and just doing a really high quality job. So what I'll do is I'll go pop the hood and get you inside here to take a look at the finer detail inside the wiring of it. Okay, so obviously in our builds, we add in the CA tuned hood struts, which are really nice because then they give us a simple opening like I just showed you. And now as we come in, I'll kind of take you through a little bit of what we see. So first off, right up in here, you'll see the cables coming down from the two solar panels. And then they give you some cable tie mounts, as well as they give you cable ties, which is always excellent. And the cable tie mounts they give you are awesome. So these are a high quality cable tie mount. They have a 3M very high bond VHB tape on the backside. They give you enough surface preparing material or solution to clean the metal that they're sticking to. And so what we did is we brought both down, we come together, then they kind of run in parallel, side by side, coming down the edge of the hood. And then I snuck in right here where there is an opening in the hood gasket. We also put in a small piece of edge guard there just so we didn't get any rubbing on this cable and ending up with a short. And then just put our piece back on there. And then they run from there into the MPPT controller. And there's your MC4 connectors. There's an auxiliary circuit right there that we're not using. And then the power feed, which is the whole purpose of this. So we're coming off of the MPPT controller. You'll see some lights back there. And then it's coming, there's a fuse on that circuit, and then it comes across the engine bay. We kind of ran it up high, just out of the way. There wasn't enough length, and I didn't necessarily want to extend them, although it could, to kind of really get it up tidy. So it kind of drapes a little bit based on where I decided to put the MPPT controller, but it's totally fine. There's no hot components. And it comes across and lands into our engine bay accessory plate, which is probably one of our highest selling DIY products. It's easy to install, and it gives you a mounting surface for a whole host of accessories, all our exterior lighting, our winch connection, relays, battery maintainer, anything of the like that can go on that. And so for us, it was super easy. We come across with our positive and our negative, positive to the positive bus bar, negative to the negative bus bar, and boom, we are done, and we are powering our chassis battery as soon as we have some solar power. So that is what it looks like inside. And now that I've done it, I would repeat this kind of methodology because I think it works out quite nicely. And I didn't really mention, but I did attach it to the backside of the air box intake, the air intake there, because there's a little bit of a plastic latching there that I attach cable ties to connect the MPPT controller. And there is on the backside of that MPPT controller some 3M VHB tape as well if you wanted to stick it to something. Although as you can see in this engine bay, there is little to no spot to actually stick that controller. So I think that's probably the best place to put it. And obviously when the cables are up underneath here, they are not going to be in the way of sealing with the hood gasket, because that hood gasket ends up attaching or contacting the hood on this flat spot, not on the underside. So there's no binding or anything as I close the hood. Everything stays in place. We've left enough slack on that end so that we're not causing any sort of issue. And boom, there we go. And we're going to give you just a quick overview looking close up. And you can see that nice gasket that they've ran around the outside to give you a perfect sort of finished look. There's no gaps. It's evenly spaced. And we just kind of ran this perfectly dead center, had everything kind of finish off just right. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what to expect if you were to get the Cascadia 4x4 hood solar panel kit. We do have these in stock. They will be on our website. So feel free to give us a shout to order those up. And as I mentioned, I'd highly recommend that you add in that engine bay accessory plate, which we do now offer both in raw, which is what we had in this van, and I have a new version now, which is a fully black powder coated. Most of it gets covered, but some people are particular and they want everything kind of nice and black inside the hood space. And anyways, that's kind of it. Thanks for joining us. Hit up our website if you're interested, and just remember to get outside. Thanks.